Alright, and you guys have reached to target D notes, which is our last notes. Alright, not hard at all. Like for example, we're gonna be comparing linear and exponential functions. I know in the other targets we were not talking about exponential functions. However, for this target we are, and it's gonna be really short and easy, so don't worry. I promise it's not that hard. All right, so question number one, it says, congratulations, you have just been offered a part-time job at Fairwind Public Library. They will pay you a starting salary of $10,000 with a raise of $250 per year. Determine the model that represents your salary after after T years. All right, so this question is literally a review question from Target C. You need to write the equation for this. And remember, y equals mx plus b. Okay, m is the change. Okay, for this one, they're talking about per year. That means that the x means years, but they told you to change x for t. And b means the starting point. So how much you start. Okay, so my answer is going to be y equals, okay, if I could get this out, there you go. So it's y equals m, which is 250 per year. That's how much is going to change per year. And we're using t, remember? And then we're going to do plus my starting point, which is 10,000. Okay, so that's my equation. Y equals 250t plus 10,000. Okay, and that's it. We're not solving it, we're just writing the equation. All right, question number two is going to be talking about linear functions and exponential. Okay, so we need to figure out from the tables if the tables are going to be linear or exponential. Okay, well, linear, we know it's y equals mx plus b. Okay, the slope is always changing and it's always either increasing or decreasing. So that means it's always adding or subtracting. Okay, so that's linear. Exponential is the same thing. It has the same pattern, but it's the opposite. It's going to be when it's multiplying or dividing. All right, so adding and multiplication means when it's going up. Okay, subtracting and division means when it's going down. Okay, pretty easy. Okay, so let's try table A. Well, I was going to be talking about the numbers on the Y. Okay, the first thing that you want to notice is, well, is my numbers increasing or decreasing? Is it going up or down? So I notice I have 500, then I have 100, then 20, then 4. That means that my numbers are going down. Okay, and I only have two options. Either going to be linear or exponential. If it's linear, remember it's subtracting. If it's exponential, it's going to be dividing. Okay. Okay, so 500 to 100, I need to find the difference. I always start with the linear. So I'm going to start with subtracting. 500 minus 400, okay, minus 400 gives me 100. So that is true. So it gives me 100. All right. Next, 100 minus 400. Does it give me 20? It does not. So this one doesn't work. Okay, so we are not subtracting for this one. So this one has to be exponential. Okay, and let's try and figure exponential. I know I'm going to be dividing. So 500, okay, I'm going to erase this because it didn't work. 500 divided by 5 gives me 100. This is true. 100 divided by 5 gives me 20. This is true. 20 divided by 5 gives me 4, and this is true. And lastly, 4 divided by 5 gives me 0.8. This is true, so it's exponential because it's dividing by 5. Okay, pretty easy, right? All right, the next one, table again. We're looking at the numbers on the Y. First thing, is it going up or down? Well, 17, 40, 63, 86, that means it's going up. And I have two options when it's going up. It's going to be either positive, increasing by adding if it's linear. And then it's going to be multiplying. Oops, sorry. It's going to be multiplying if it's exponential. Okay, so again, let's try this again. 17 plus what gives me 40? What gives me plus 23 gives me 40. This is true. 40 plus 23 gives me 63. This is true. 63 plus 23 gives me 86. This is true. 86 plus 23 gives me 109. This is true. That means that my answer is linear because I am adding by 23. Okay. For this one, I didn't even have to test exponential. It came out to be linear and that's it. Okay. Y. Okay. Numbers again are going down. Okay, so they're going down. That means I am either subtracting or dividing. Alright, 500 minus 99 gives me 401. This is true. But remember, it has to make sense through the whole numbers. Let's keep testing them out. 401 minus 99 gives me 302. This is true. 302 minus 99 gives me 203. This is true. And 203 minus 99 gives me 104. That means that this is linear because it's subtracting by 99. Pretty easy. Let's keep going. Alright, next the numbers are going up. So I'm either adding or multiplying. Alright, 2 plus 6 gives me 8. This is true. 8 plus gives me, plus 6, guys, sorry, does not give me 32. So this is where it went wrong. So it's not going to be adding. Let's test multiplying. Okay, so not adding. 2 times 4 gives me 8. This is true. 8 times 4 gives me 32. This is true. 32 times 4 gives me 128. This is true. 128 times 4 equals 512. So this is true. So there you go. This exponential because we are multiplying by 4. Pretty easy. All right. And the last problem. Okay, they're asking you to find on the next tables if there's going to be exponential growth, decay, or neither. Well, exponential, remember we said is multiplying or dividing, right? And I told you when it's going up, which is grow, you're multiplying. When it's going down, we said is dividing. And well, neither is when you're adding or subtracting because that's linear, right? Okay, so all I want you to know is to find and tell me if it's going to be exponential growth or decay. All right, so the first one, let's look at the table again. We're looking at the numbers on the Y. Notice how the numbers start with a fraction. I personally don't like fractions, so I'm going to keep going to 1. 1, for this one, I only have an option, either multiplying or dividing. Okay, so 1, 2, 4, that means it's going up. We just need to check it if it's going to be multiplying. 1 times 2 gives me 2. 2 times 2 gives me 4. 4 times 2 gives me 8. 8 times 2 gives me 16. So this is true. So this one is exponential growth. All right, so that one's growth. What about the next one? Look at the numbers on the bottom. It starts at 64 and it goes down. So that means this is dividing. We just have to make sure that is true. All right, so 64 divided by what gives me 16. So 64 divided by 16 gives me 4. That means I'm dividing by 4. Okay, so let's make sure everything has to make sense. So 16 divided by 4 gives me 4. This is true. 4 divided by 4 gives me 1. This is true. 1 divided by 4 gives me 1/4. And this is all true. So that means that this one's decay. And the last ones, I have 0, 5, 8, 9, 8, 5, 0. All right, look at this pattern. It goes 4, 0, 5, 8, 9, and then it repeats itself. 8, 5, 0. So this one is neither. It can either go all the way up, all the way down, but it cannot go up and then down, okay? So this one's neither. All right, what about the next one? I have 3, 0, -1, 0, 3, 8, 15. All right, well, let's see. 3 times what gives me 0? Okay, the numbers are everywhere, so I'm going to try both of them. 3 times 0 gives me 0. So this is multiplying by 0. 0 times 0 is not -1, so it's not multiplying, okay? All right, how about division? 3 divided by what gives me 0? Still 0. So this one is neither. I cannot multiply or divide. And the last one. Again, we're focusing on the numbers. Again, I told you it starts with fractions. I'm not really good with fractions. I'm going to start with 1. 1, 5, 25, 125. The numbers are going up. That means I'm either multiplying. Well, 1 times 5 gives me 5. This is true. 5 times 5 gives me 25. 25 times 5 gives me 125. 125 times 5 gives me 625. This is true, so this one's growth. And that's it. That is all we are doing for target D. We talked a little bit of exponential, and we were comparing linear and exponential. Alright, so hopefully this makes sense. Again, if you're not understanding something, make sure to ask your teachers when you meet with them.